As a first-person shooter player, I look for lightweight, small mice to help me aim, but they usually lack the features I want and need for general use. That's why I have 2 mice on my desk, and I haven't had any problems with muscle memory when switching between the two. So first of all, if you can afford it, I highly recommend having a dual mouse setup. For the last few years, I've been using the Logitech G900 or G903 as my personal use mouse. The infinite scroll wheel is awesome, especially for browsing and video editing, and I love the fact it's wireless, especially with power play. Not having to worry about a cable or charging it is great, even though it's heavier. In my opinion, it's been the best all-rounder all-purpose mouse. You can use it for pretty much everything, even MMOs, but no comfort curves in the buttons and an awkward shape meant I was mostly using it out of necessity. That's changed now with the release of the G502 LIGHTSPEED, which at least has one comfort curve, and overall in my opinion just a better shape. Although in some ways I still prefer the G900. The G502 is one of the best selling mice of all time, and I think it just got even better. For those worried about wireless not being as good as wired, Logitech wireless is outstanding. I can't tell the difference in multiple tests. Definitely worth giving a go. Now let's get into the details and comparisons. Starting with the weight, the original G502 weighs in at about 125 grams, while this one is 112. That's without the plate, 115 width, and if you put the PowerPlay plate in, it's 118 grams. And with the additional weights that you can add, it gets up to 131 grams, if you use all the weights. That means 2 inside the plate. You won't be able to use that with the PowerPlay. With the PowerPlay and the weights, it's 125 grams, so it'll be the same as the G502 wired. The PowerPlay plate is of course what you use with the PowerPlay pad, so it charges through the pad. I think they've done well to reduce the weight. For the infinite scroll wheel to work, it needs to be slightly heavy, and somehow they've got it spinning for about as long as the original, but they've definitely taken some weight out of it. You probably noticed that the mouse looks the same. It's clear they really wanted to keep the mouse familiar to all its fans. So the materials are high quality, feel great, and should be quite durable, with the potential exception being the rubber on the sides. After talking to Logitech, I really wanted to point this out though. I'll read you what they sent me. PVC is a common, low-cost plastic used in tens of thousands of items, such as vinyl fabrics, paint, pipes, siding, and plastic wrappers. When it gets turned into products, it's almost always combined with chemicals and plasticizers, and these combinations make it bad for people and the planet. We decided to find a way to use less PVC in our products. G502 LIGHTSPEED is PVC-free and has a plastic neutral certification. This means that with every purchase, Logitech helps fund plastic bank programs that help remove ocean-bound plastic from the environment. We still use hard PVC in some of our products. Hard PVC has fewer eco-hazardous plasticizers than soft PVC and is fully recyclable, but if a suitable alternative for hard PVC is found, we'll investigate that material too. So that's awesome news. I think to fix a lot of problems, we need to go forward in our technology, not backward, and also use a lot less plastics. Logitech is going in the right direction, so for that, a personal big thanks from me, and I hope other companies follow their lead. Anyway, I usually keep reviews on point, but that's something I feel strongly about, so I really wanted to share it. Now back to the mouse. You still have the same buttons, RGB, and same feel. You can watch the G502 review if you want more detail on the shape and recommendations, but as I said, it's not really a mouse I recommend for competitive gaming, so the size guides aren't really all that important. One thing I don't like is that they force you to use the charging cable they give you. You can't just use a standard micro USB like the G903, which also had a special cable but didn't have to be used with it. It's using Logitech's Hero sensor, which is a top optical. I ran it through the usual in-game tests and had no issues. No spin out from fast movements, handle tilt slam test just fine, track pixel by pixel, no real acceleration, and so on. So the reviews don't get too repetitive, you can just go watch my sensor testing video if you're interested in what I do with them. But also the lift-off distance is under a DVD on the MP510 mousepad and on my white desk. And for latency, tested against the wired G502, you can see the really similar scores in the human latency test. That's also backed up in the bump test, where I changed between which mouse is lifted. Again, Logitech wireless is really good. In fact, in this last test, the left mouse button is the wireless one, and that's a few milliseconds faster. That's most likely because of where I'm hitting the buttons, but it goes to show they're basically the same. And if you want to use the software with this mouse, you have to use G Hub. But the mouse does have onboard memory, so you can set it up once and then just uninstall the software. The battery life is extremely good. I didn't test it all the way through, but even after about 8 hours use, I think I still had it at about 90%, but I was recharging it the first few times though. In conclusion, it's a wireless G502, but actually lighter than the wired one. You won't get it as heavy, even with all the weights, but I think this will be great for G502 fans to try a lighter mouse, and hopefully later try an even lighter mouse. Maybe the G Pro wireless if you want to stick with Logitech, or the G305. Performance is solid, materials are really good, even better knowing that Logitech is making an effort to combat the plastic problem. with the ability to recycle and cause less waste. And I didn't find any issues on mine. It's a solid choice and my new main mouse for general use. Definitely love having the infinite scroll wheel, especially because it tilts as well. These are just extra buttons for my shortcuts. However, I'll still use smaller, lighter mice for when I want to play Quake. As always, this video was not sponsored, all thoughts are my own. Usual links in the description if you want to help support the channel, and big thanks to Logitech for sending this out for review. Otherwise, subscribe, like and share this video, and I'll catch you in the next.